Hi everybody! Today we're going to talk about knowing your times tables. And you already know your zeros and ones. We can't get any easier than that. Because 0 times any number is 0. And that's called the zero property. Okay? And you know that 1 times any number is itself. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Mrs. Calderon times 1 is Mrs. Calderon. And that's called the identity property. So any number times 1 is itself. Well, you know your 2's, that's just like skip counting. You've been doing that since kindergarten. And 4's, I call that double trouble. Because look, 2 times 1 is 2, but 4 times 1 is 4. So you know, if you know your 2's, you just double it. Yeah. And you know your 5, so that's why we have 5 fingers. And you know your 10's and your 11's, that's just super easy. So all you need to know is your 3's, your 6's, 7's, 8's, and 9's. And there's some tricks to the 9, and we'll talk about those at another time. But let's take a look at our 3's. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And this 3, 6, 9 pattern repeats throughout. The only tricky thing is you have to add your answer here. So 3 times 4 is 12. And you take 1 plus 2, and that's 3. So 3, 6, 9, 3. 3 times 5 is 15, or 1 plus 5, 6. 3 times 6, 18, or 1 plus 8, 9. So 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. 3 times 7, 21, 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 times 8, 24, 2 plus 4 is 6. 3 times 9 is 27, and 2 plus 7 is 9. So it's kind of interesting that there's patterns throughout your times tables. Now there's another pattern with your 6's that's kind of similar, but the pattern is kind of mixed up. So 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, or 1 plus 2 is 3. 6 times 3 is 18, or 1 plus 8 is 9. 6, 3, 9. Can you guess the pattern? 6 times 4 is 24, so 2 plus 4 is 6. Well, how does that help us? Well, as long as we know the pattern, we can know that our answer is, when we add the numbers together, that will have to add up to that pattern. So if you kind of keep that pattern in mind, it might help you a little bit. Also, you know 1's, 2's, 3's, 4's, and 5's, you can check those off. And you know your 9's, so really all you have to do is study your 6's, 7's, and 8's. And then coming over here to your 7's, you have 7 times 1, you know that. You know your 2, 7 times 2 is 14. You should know your 3's, that's 21. 7 times 4, that's double trouble, 28, see, 14. And then double that is 28. 7 times 5, we know your 5's. Again, all you need to know is your 6's, 7's, and 8's. And 7 times 6 is 42, 7 times 7, 49, and 7 times 8, I like to think of this one as 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 times 8 is 56, and 7 times 9 is 63. So if there's really, you already kind of know your 9, so we've talked about some tricks there before. So let's take a look at the last one here. And that's our 8's. And there's even a trick to your 8's. If you look here at the 1's and the 10's place, you'll see that 8 times 1, well, it's not 0, 8, but if you think of 0 1's, and then 8 in the 10's place, which it really isn't the 10's place, but let's just move it over there. And then over here, oh, I'm sorry, I've got this bad. My fault. This should be 1's and 10's. I apologize for that. 8 times 2, 16. So there's a 1 and a 6. 8 times 3, 24. And then you have a 2 and a 4. But now now look at this. If you start here and you see that 8 times 4 is 40, and you start with your 0, and then it goes up by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. After 8 times 5 is 40. And then, when you skip down to 10, 8 times 10 is 80. You have that pattern again. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And then on the 10 side, you have a pattern over here. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 4 repeats, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you kind of memorize that pattern, and you know that 8s have a little something you can work with there. And so, 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 3 is 24, and 8 times 3 is 32, 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times 6 is 48, 8 times 7 is 56, 8 times 8 is 64, and 8 times 9 is 72, and 8 times 10 is 80. Now your 9s are pretty interesting. So you have 9 times 1, 9 times 2, and so forth, all the way down to 9 times 10. And if you just know that this is the pattern, and you start with, again, the 10s in the 1s place, and you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you start at the last one, and you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, and so on. So there's really some tricks to learning your times tables, and maybe you might use a few of them to help you memorize them. Okay, thank you.